How to embroider a candle. We are not really going to embroider a candle, of course, but we are going to use embroidery designs to sublimate our candles, giving them a visual texture you can't find anywhere else. Hi, I am Kimberly Patterson, and I teach candle makers how to sublimate and engrave their candles so that your candle will stand out and sell. So let's get started. I have purchased many embroidery designs over the years, and one of my favorite online stores is Urban Threads. Once you have purchased a design, screenshot it and upload it to Canva, where you will do your final designing. One of my favorite candles to make are embroidered candles. Why? Because an embroidery design gives the candle texture and beauty. It stands out. I have a lot of designs already because I sew and owned a children's clothing business. However, you don't have to be a sewist to enjoy these beautiful designs. Search for an embroidery design, and when you find one you like, buy it. Then, screen capture the design and import it into Canva. Adjust for color, add text, and you have a beautiful design to sublimate onto your candle. I use the 3.5 size for my 8-ounce and 14-ounce candle designs, as it fits my vessel well. After I load my design, I am going to remove the background for a clearer sublimation print. Add your text and font choice. I really like the Im English font and will use it for this design. Canva has a lot of beautiful fonts, so experiment with fonts until you get your desired look. I want to size this design for my 8-ounce candle today. Also, I'm thinking that my fragrance winter berries from my flaming candle collection will be a good choice for this design. For this candle, I want it to say peace and love, which sells well during the holidays. I'm going to size it and center it, then download as a PNG file to print. Designing is really one of my favorite steps in the sublimation process. Once you have everything the way you like it, make sure you download it as a transparent file. You don't actually print directly from Canva, you download it first, then print it. Canva also automatically saves all your changes so it is easy to find later. Now it is ready to go to the sublimation printer. I am printing to my Brother SP1 sublimation printer using A-Sub sublimation paper. It is at this step that I mirror my design. Any sublimation printer will do, but you do have to have a dedicated printer with sublimation ink. And as always, since we are sublimating on glass, we print to the paper twice, meaning we feed the same paper through the printer twice so the ink lays on top of itself. Don't worry, my printer always lines it up perfectly. Our first step is to cut the design as small as possible. This makes it easier to tape securely onto the candle vessel. We use our handy Cricut cutter to make it fast and easy. It's a quick cut around all 4 corners. Next, we tape the design to the candle. This is an 8-ounce vessel, so it's a tight fit. We use heat-resistant tape and apply firm pressure all around the design. We add extra pressure at the bottom to help prevent ghosting, and we tape around the lip of the candle to protect it from the shrink wrap. If shrink wrap melts onto the lip, it's very difficult to remove, so don't skip this step. Taping isn't hard. It's just about using heat tape, applying consistent pressure, and making sure every edge of your design is sealed. Ghosting usually happens at the bottom if there are wrinkles in the paper or if you didn't use enough pressure with your tape. It's totally avoidable and well worth the time to do it right the first time. I like to use a long piece of tape at the bottom. This gives me more leverage to apply firm, even pressure as I secure it. Now we're taping around the lip to stop that dreaded shrink wrap from sticking. Now we cut our shrink wrap and open it into a rectangle. Wrap it around the vessel and tape along the seam. Then use a heat gun to shrink the wrap, moving around the vessel a few times, to make sure it's tight and smooth all the way around. The next step is to place the vessel in the sublimation oven, set to 390 degrees for 6 minutes. After baking, let it cool for 20 to 30 minutes before unwrapping. This is the fun part, the big reveal. First, look inside the vessel to check for ghosting. If everything looks good, go ahead and unwrap it. If you do see ghosting, don't worry, it can be fixed. If it did ghost, here is how to fix it. Carefully remove the shrink wrap without shifting the design. Re-tape it with extra pressure on the ghosted areas. Rewrap and rebake for another 6 minutes. That extra pressure helps eliminate wrinkles and gaps and should clear it up. But this one has no ghosting, so we are just going to continue to unwrap it, and it looks great. The design is vibrant and one with the vessel, smooth to the touch. Next step, let's wick our vessel. My client chose cotton wicks for this candle, but we also offer wooden wicks. I use the Norden centering tool because I don't take any chances. Every candle deserves a perfectly centered wick. Even the best candle recipe won't burn properly if the wick is even slightly off-center. Once the wick is placed, I secure them with a Norden wick holder to make sure they stay perfectly in position while I pour the wax and during the curing process. No shifting, ever. You can order these for any candle maker and vessel type. Up next, let's mix our fragrance and get to pouring. We're using my 8-ounce candle recipe, which is 0.7 ounce of fragrance, fill beaker to 250 grams, stir for 2 minutes, and pour. We are using Cocoa Apricot Cream Wax from Makesy and Premier 755 Cotton Wick. For a wooden wick candle, I use one spiral wick, which works great in this 8-ounce vessel. Stay to the end, and I will include a recipe card for this candle. It is the same recipe I use for all my 8-ounce candles, just switch out fragrance choices. Every fragrance I use has been tested for a perfect burn. This candle has already been poured and has cured for 24 hours. Now it's time to remove the wick holder and trim the wicks. The wax will be fully cured and ready to burn in another 48 hours. Then it's showtime. You can see how nicely this candle turned out. And when we engrave the lid, it will elevate the look and feel of the candle itself and adds our elegant engraved branding. The final result. It's beautiful, smells great, a keepsake that won't rub off or fade. Do you like the beautiful texture an embroidered design adds to candles? These candles are dishwasher safe and can be reused again and again. Tell me what you think in comments. Subscribe if you got value from our content today. And screenshot this recipe for a candle recipe that is tried and true and works every time. Thank you for watching, and see you next time on The Candle Artist Way.